Dave, 5-2 win against Prestwich Hayes this afternoon. Do you think the result shows the sort of reflection of the game?
I think so. I think we've dominated the ball. Obviously, when they equalise both times, there's always those nerves set in. But we've dominated with and without possession, with and without the ball, pretty much for the full 90 minutes. Similar to the second half on Boxing Day, complete domination. But there was spells where it was frustrating, very frustrating. But honestly, my overwhelming sort of feelings are pride. I think obviously people come to the game and they watch the performance and don't really understand some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. I mean, there's 7 or 8 of those lads who've got off the sick bed today, and they've come and they've battled and they've been warriors. And it hasn't been brilliant, it hasn't been perfect, the performance. But again, that time of the year, there's a lot of stuff going round. Like I said, a few of them are in a really bad way. So they've come here, they've shown the quality in spells, and we've got a comfortable 5-2 win.
I know we asked Rustam Stephens to come up to chat to us, but obviously he's one of the players that's been affected by that illness and has gone straight home.
I'll be surprised if he'd be able to get up the stairs. I'll be honest, he was really struggling towards the back end. DJ struggling, he literally blew up and he said, I can't carry on anymore. He felt dizzy, thought he was going to fall over, and obviously Rusty was the only really attacking player that we had on the bench. So honestly, we were really down to bare bones, and the work ethic and what the lads have put in, second to none.
The 5 changes that you made for the starting 11, I guess, is a combination of what you've just said in terms of freshening people up in terms of minutes, but also to battle with that illness that's going around the squad.
Absolutely, it was almost like the 11 least sick people going to start and trying to fit them into positions a little bit. So, yeah, it's been tough. It's been a tough few days, but on reflection, we've had sort of 3 games in 8 days. 2 against the top 2 teams in the league, and 1 against obviously a potential banana skin after all the sort of emotion that was on Boxing Day. So we picked up 7 points. I think anyone in the right mind would have took that coming into that run. Obviously, we're disappointed the way the Rami one turned out. If you look at the stats and the way we played, I mean, I come away from the game thinking we dominated the game. And then you see some comments on socials and whatever else, but honestly, the second half, we've had 82% possession. We've had 16 shots, they've had 1. We've absolutely dominated the ball, 330 odd passes to they completed 20 passes in the second half. So we've absolutely dominated the game. We deserve to win the game. Should have had 9 points, but we've got 7. We'll take it and we'll keep going.
In terms of goals conceded, we've seen a lot over the last few games. Is that something that concerns you?
Absolutely. I think when you break them down, either individual errors or a catalogue of individual errors. So we talked about the 2 from Rami before the game. Not necessarily calling people out, but almost letting them see the goals and understand where, there's 3 or 4 mistakes in the lead up in terms of the first phase and the second phase of the goals. If we can stop one of those and make the one right decision rather than the wrong decision, then we stop the goals going in. It just feels like we're at that moment where every time we make a mistake, like we're being punished. And sometimes it can feel like that. Early in the season when we were coming away sort of 3-0 and 2-0, we probably weren't being punished. But that's the way of the world. Sometimes the pendulum swings that way. But ultimately, we've got to make sure we're more solid defensively. I think keeping the ball's key to that. But again, we've shown our attacking intent today.
Finally, from me, looking at the second half of the season into 2025, what's your analysis ahead of that?
I think we've got, 16, 17 games left. As it stands, all Saturdays, no more midweek games, hopefully no more get called off. And what that gives us is contact time. I've said it a million times before, this group, when it gets quality contact time and training, will flourish. And I think you'll see the best of this side in the months to come.
Perfect, thanks Dave.
Dave, what does it say about this team that you've had so many players poorly and yet they're willing to put on the shirt and put in a shift?
I think what it says about them is they've got the same passion and same love for this club as what the fans have. How many of the fans haven't been well and turned up in the drones sort of on Boxing Day and today. It's a measure of character and a measure of personality. And like I said, they love the club. They're desperate to win, and obviously sometimes we fall short of that, and the lads know full well when that happens. But in terms of character and integrity, I can't question them.
And just as far as, at one point it's 2-2 against the team that's bottom of the league, so a lot of Bury fans are going, what's going on? but then you roll the dice as well as far as making those changes. Does it come down to that squad game at this point then?
Yeah, absolutely it does, and that's why squads win leagues. Ultimately, it's squads that win promotions and win leagues. It's not the starting 11. And again, I'll stand by it. I think this is the strongest squad in the league, and I think come the end of April, with the additional contact time between now and then, I think you'll see the best of the team.
And just finally on Rustin Stephens, you said he was really, really poorly, just going through all that and yet still putting in a shift today. How much are we yet to see from him? Because I think it was 10 games without a goal, and then he's managed to do that today despite being unwell.
Yeah. Look, I still think he's got levels to go through. I still think he can play a lot higher. We've seen his quality in large spells this season. Obviously had a bit of a dry spot recently, but the goals will come. I've got no doubts about that.
Thank you.
Cheers.